Welcome back to the podcast, the video, however you're listening or watching. Once again, we have the NRLW Round 5 preview. Got Alex from Watch Her Footy with us once again. Also, again, it's hard to go past the brilliant round of footy that we've had in round 4, and you look ahead and you see some of these games we've got to look forward to in round 5, and it's just as good. It's a testament to the game where it's at the moment. I think it goes to show you how well the NRL has done this and got the games and the teams and brought them into as we go, not rushing it as we've seen in other codes do it. So, Alex, you must, with the page and just sort of on a personal as well, you must be loving the content you're getting to create because of how good it's going.
Yeah, I mean, it always helps the more eyes that are on the game itself. The more people are gonna want to see it in other spaces like our page, and that's why we made the page in the first place. It's just going to grow from where it is. It's still such early days in the competition, and in 5-10 years time, if we're still running the page, it's only going to get bigger and better. So we want to, put our foot in the door with the page we have, and for the people that are here now and supporting it, we want to be that go-to page. So it's fun, and hopefully just more content pops up as the years go on.
5 to 10 years time, don't kid yourself. You guys will be running the NRLW the way you guys are going. So can't wait for that one. Let's quickly go into the round 4 results. So Saturday morning's game, we had the Raiders just get by a tough and determined Dragons outfit. They came back there, and I think Samaima Taufa, who we'll touch on shortly, had just turned that game around and made sure it was the Raiders to win. The Cowboys beat the Tigers 16-12. The Broncos, even with 2 sin bins, proved too good against the Eels. 11 versus 13 for about 8 minutes in that game, which was crazy to see. But the Broncos just, for mine, are the dark horse of this competition at the moment. They just seem to be going along nice enough, but no one's really talking about them. The Roosters, in a weird game because the Sharkies were so up for that, especially early on. And then to win this 36-12, I had to do a couple of takes when I looked at this firstly. I thought, did I watch the right game? I felt like it was a lot closer than that, but the Roosters are just on another atmosphere at the moment. And the Knights 22-10 against, it was a top of the table clash at the time, and we both said it looked like the Knights would probably step up for this game and show that their credentials where they're at. What surprised you over the weekend's results?
Well, initially when the Sharks were up 12-0, I was pretty surprised. I thought, oh, here we go, another upset. Can't pick it, but yeah, just initially that surprise. But like the Roosters, we're probably expected to see all season. They've shown what they can do, and probably surprising how much they blew them out of the water because starting the season, Sharks thought they were going to be one of the top teams, and finally they've shown up because they have had a rough start. And then for the way the Roosters just kind of tore them apart and blew them off the park towards the end of the game. It was, I guess, just pretty disappointing from the Sharks' point of view. I don't know about any other surprises. I think the results were relatively as expected. All some close games with
Yeah.
the Raiders, Dragons, the Cowboys, Tigers. So yeah, some sort of could have gone either way. So no, apart from that, no real surprises. I don't think.
Yeah, just quickly go through the ladder, and this is how close it is at the moment. The top 4, all on 6 points, 3 wins, 1 loss. So got the Roosters, Knights, Raiders, Titans. The next 3 are 2 wins, 2 losses. The Tigers, Broncos, Cowboys. The Dragons and Sharks are 1 win and 3 losses, and both both playing decent footy. 8th and 9th, and the Eels, none from 4, sitting there last place. So the less we say about the Eels this episode, the better. I'm happy to steer clear. Talk to us about these try score results. And I know Nahal's been on our case a little bit at the moment. She's starting to say that she needs to take over this. Have we managed to shut her up over the weekend, or is it just going to get louder?
I think it's gonna get louder from her. We didn't we didn't have a great week again. I don't know. We need to come up with a new strategy. I think because first game we both didn't get it. I had Mona Lisa Soliola. You had Madison Bartlett. I mean, Soliola was supposed to start, and then she went to the bench, and Matua started, and she ended up crossing over. I don't know if you're watching, but she crossed over the line in that left second row position that I was, eyeing off, and she dropped the ball over the line, so she should have had one there. So technically a tick with the stat I was going with that left second rower, but yeah, neither of us got across there. Then the next game, we both had the Tigers centers, Leon Tafunga and Rakia Horn. both didn't cross. Broncos Eels game was where we both got our tip. So I had Ash Werner, had a bit of a feeling about her, and she went over. I think might have almost been the first try of the game, but could be wrong. And then Melo Hufanga you had. So we
Yeah.
both one from three there. Then the next game I had Bridie Parker, you had Penatani, both didn't score. Um, I think, Fassad scored 3 on the other wing. I was watching that and just going, give it to the left wing for one. Then we went with the battle of the fullbacks for the Knights Titans. Tamika Upton scored for me, but Polito didn't score for you. So overall, I was 2 from 5. You were 1 from 5. And for the 3 rounds we've done it, we're both 4 from 15. So not ideal.
Oh wow, that's going back to the school grades, 4 out of 15. That's not good
Yeah.
at all. Oh well, look, you know what? We're just gonna, as you said, we're gonna rethink the strategy. I don't know what it is, what we can do, but
Yeah.
now it's not going to get a chance here. We're gonna step up. I've got no doubt about that. Performances of the week, team wise, I'm going to go the Broncos. As I mentioned earlier, that 2 sin bin period where it was 11 on 13, and they just, if anything, they gained more. They didn't lose anything, and just the way they were able to just power on, because I think Parramatta were actually up for that game and were quite dangerous and there for a lot of the game. And I think LC Alberts was a massive loss for him, but I think, the Broncos, to go down 2 players, that was ridiculous, and to still go out and win that game. Individual wise, I just can't go past. I mentioned her earlier. Samama Taufa is in rare form. She is so good. I'd arguably have her as the player of the comp at the moment, and in the world, basically. And is that she's going that well? What about yours?
Yeah, so team of the week. I just went Knights. I think coming up against a Titans side that were 3-0, I think it was just a really impressive win at home. They've had a bit of an inconsistent season. I think that loss to the Cowboys was a bit of a shock. So good for them to get a pretty, I wouldn't say dominant win, but I think it was 22-10. So it was a pretty solid win against a high flying Titans team. Um, you say the Broncos were the most impressive. Like, yeah, the Eels definitely were up for it, and down to 11. I was worried that we were going to lose, but I think just seeing how the Eels have played and other teams being able to get big scorelines on them, I think I was a little bit disappointed as a Broncos fan that we weren't able to put them away. Oh, is that still recording?
Yeah,
Oh, let's just switched over to something else. No, all good. Got it back.
you're right. We're
Um,
still going.
yeah, all good. Yeah, so I think just from a Broncos point of view, I was like, just wanted to see that big scoreline just to solidify our
Yeah.
form. But yeah, individually, I also have Samara Mataufa written down. 197 run meters, a try, 4 tackle breaks, 45 tackles. She's just filling up the stat sheet every week, and I think I'm not sure if she's currently sitting first on the Dally M leaderboard. I'll have to
Yeah.
double check, but she's probably my favorite to go on and win the Dally M at this point of the season, just because she's as a team the Raiders are really solid, but in terms of standouts, they're not like a superstars in the team apart from potentially Samaima. So she'll probably end up getting a lot of the Dally M points every game, and she's always going to have a 9 out of 10 sort of game. So she'll be my favorite at the moment.
I keep wanting to roll into a ball and just cry whenever I see her playing, not in a Parramatta jersey, but let's move on from that. Round 5 preview. Let's get stuck into it. Cowboys 7th against the Sharks 9th. Again, 11:05 in the morning. Bit of an ugly time on a Saturday, but Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Give us your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, like I've sort of touched on, the Sharks have been probably my most underwhelming team of the season. I had high hopes for them coming into it, and I think they're 1 win from 4 games now. So this is definitely a must win for them, because I think after that they've got to play the Knights down in Newcastle, who have found some form, and then the Broncos weirdly up in Townsville again. So they're going Townsville, Newcastle, Townsville. So it's going to be a lot of travel. And yeah, if
Wow.
they don't get the win this week against the Cowboys, it could be a tricky 3 week period, and then they could be 1 from 7 games. So it doesn't leave them with too much time to make a run for the final. So I think if it's got to start this week for the Sharks. I think they've made a couple changes based on last week. I think Kiana Takarangi has been dropped. Don't think there's an injury there. I think Georgia Rabbix has come in on the wing because they conceded 4 tries down that edge. That looked really disconnected. Penatani and Takarangi, they just let 3 tries into Frassard. Isabel Kelly scored one. It just was looking like a mess down that side. So they're trying to fix that up this week. Um, Cowboys' point of view, they scraped a win against a bit of an understrength Tigers team. Wasn't the most convincing win, I don't think, from the Cowboys. Back at home, their first game there, they didn't go too well against the Broncos. So I'll go the Sharks. Just I think they've got to find some form. It's got to be now.
Yeah, I'm the same. And literally for the exact same reason. I just feel like the Sharks need to win this. It's not
Mm.
a matter of if or but. Like it's just that they have to win this game, and they just have two. Only on paper, their team is quite classy, and it's just crazy that they
Mm.
are where you are, where they are on the ladder at the moment. Player to watch for mine. It's another question I want to sort of ask you. Emma Tonegado, in a way, because I'm just confused as to what she wants to play or where she's best for this team. We all know how good she has been at fullback over the years for the NRLW, but we've also seen recently, I think she's mentioned it in media that she does want to play that 5/8 role, and that's where she's playing at the moment. For mine, that's why I can't wait to watch this game and watch her, because I just want to see how she fits in again after having last week's game at fullback for a lot of that game. And where do you see her, and who's your player to watch?
Yeah, obviously we're used to seeing her at fullback. Jada Taylor comes back into the side this week, so Taylor will play fullback. And if Tonegata wants to play in the halves, then you leave it up to her. It's where she's going to be happiest playing. She obviously looked good at number one last week. I think in the trial game, like the first round, she looked really good at 5'8", but she has been a little bit quiet. So I think they'll stick with the Taylor fullback Tonegata at 5'8". Hopefully it clicks this week, and we haven't seen Jada Taylor for a few weeks. So the only week she played, they won. So we'll see what kind of an impact that has, and we might just be saying definitely keep Jada Taylor at fullback after this week if she could get to the game and they get the win. So yeah, player to watch is just Jada Taylor on her return, and the try scorer, like I said, Sharks conceded that there's 4 tries down that edge. So I'll look to the right wing of the Cowboys, who also scored a try last week against the Tigers, China Palata to score a try.
Well, I'm glad I wrote down two, because that was my first option.
Uh,
I'll go, because I've predicted Sharks to win. I'm going to say Tiana Penatani bounces back after probably a disappointing game for her stand, especially
mm,
defensive wise. She'll bounce back with a bang and really put her foot down here, and I think she'll get over the white line for a try. The second game, Tigers versus the Dragons, 5th versus 8th. Your thoughts on this one?
yeah, I think Bo very well coming back is going to be a massive in. They definitely missed her last week. I think just wasn't very smooth out the back line and just a bit of composure lacking. So that's definitely a huge in for the Tigers and Dragons. They think are leading the comp in completion rate. So they're doing well with the ball. They're making the least amount of errors as well, I think. But they lead the comp in missed tackles. So defensively, it's where they're letting themselves down, and they just let teams get off to good starts against them, and they can't claw it back. They nearly did against the Raiders, coming back from like 18-6, I think. Um, but I just think, yeah, this Tigers team, I think a couple losses in a row now, they'll be looking to get back to winning ways after starting the season 2-0. I definitely give the Dragons a chance. They're a chance every week. They've competed every week. I just think the Tigers. We've seen how good they can be this season, and they'll get the job done.
Yeah, sorry, this a 12:50 at CommBank Stadium as well for this game. Yeah, I'm tipping the Tigers. I keep saying I really like what I see from the Dragons. They're just not getting the wins. That's the thing, and it just gets to a point where it sort of does all the hard work become undone. We're just seeing the good news that James Howard has re-signed as well for the
Mm.
club, so that might give him that extra lift as well. I know there was quite a few of the girls there who were a bit worried about that at the time, and was cautious of their career path as well with the club. But yeah, I'll lock in the Tigers to get this done off the back of my player to watch, Bo Freddie Welsh, to be back in the lineup and really spark that attack back into play. As you said, the first couple of rounds they were really good with their attack, and I think ever since they sort of missed her, they lacked that little bit of spark and creativity, especially towards that back line of things. So really looking forward to see how Bo comes back into this lineup. What about yours?
Yeah, my player to watch is BBW as well. In terms of a try scorer, like I said before, my tip last week was Soliola because that left second row position against the Dragons. And if Matua did ground the ball, it would be 4 weeks in a row, all 4 weeks this season that Dragons have conceded a try that left second rower, and I'm willing to count that to a try because she did cross over. So we'll technically say 4 weeks in a row the left second row has gone over the try line against the Dragons, and 3 weeks in a row now, Kezi Apps at left second row for the Tigers has scored a try. So based on the stats, I'll go Kezi Apps to go for a fourth, and the Dragons to concede 5 weeks in a row to that position.
I'm getting a theme here with you this episode. You're on it to get these right. You're really going heavily on the stats here. I like it,
I'm
and I'm
trying.
still just choosing who I think might score.
Well,
I've
it's
got
not working for me.
nothing to back me up. I'm going to go Jakaya Whitfield to score for mine. I think she missed one on the weekend, and we've seen her pace and things like that. I just think this will be a game, especially against the Dragons, where to be honest, actually, it's probably one of those games where we know the speed there of the Dragons backline, and that's it. Maybe one of those games where maybe she won't, but yeah, I just have a feeling, especially with Tegan Berry at the back. I just think that maybe Whitfield gets one. Titans versus the Roosters, the third game on the Sunday, 3:10 at Seabus Stadium up here on the Gold Coast. It's starting to get a bit warmer as well. I'm noticing up here in Queensland, so could be a nice dry track. Some great footy and probably the game of the round. This is going to be a cracker. Both 3-1. Their results so far, fourth versus first, but equal on points. What's your thoughts on this one? I just feel like this could be a cracker. If there's a team to really upset the Roosters, it's got to be the Titans' defense.
Yeah, like I think we spoke about it last week, how the Titans had the best defense in the comp, averaging 10 up until obviously conceding 22 to the Knights. So that changes it. I just think we've seen, what the Roosters are capable of, and that's the worry for any team coming up against them. Once they sort of bash you through the middle, they just have so much power out wide, and once they go out the back, that they can run away with it pretty easily. So I'm expecting a Roosters win, and I think there are a couple outs for the Titans. I think Jamie Chapman out with the head knock, Riley Jorgensen out with the head knock. I think Destiny Minno-Sinapati's coming in at centre to replace Chapman, who's normally a fullback or a winger, so I'm not sure if she has played at centre before. So it's going to be a big ask to mark Jess Surgis there at right centre, if it is her first time playing centre. So I don't know. The Titans, they obviously have played well. They're in 3-1 for a reason, but I just think the Roosters, like I say every week, really I'll be surprised if they don't get the win here.
Yeah, you basically maybe feel a bit better on the tip as well. I think the Roosters should win this one. Probably in that 13 plus region, just because of the players you mentioned that are out. So it's a little bit of a worry there for the Titans. I would have loved to see them versus each other both at full strength. I think the Titans can really worry the Roosters down the track when they meet come finals or something like that. What about your player to watch? I've got to highlight a battle that I can't wait to watch, which is Ellison versus Boyle, the two hard-edged front row forwards, which won't take a backward step in this one. I know that Millie Boyle likes to dominate her opposition, and I know this. There's one play here, as I said, Ellison, that won't let that happen on her watch.
Yeah, my player to watch, like I just sort of mentioned, is Destiny Minno-Sinapati, just to see how she goes. It's going to be a massive, massive job for her to step into Chapman's shoes, but also to step into the role of having to defend, one of the best centers in the game. So just probably all eyes on her and how she goes, and I'm sure the Roosters are going to be looking to exploit that edge with her starting there.
Yeah, massive test. Your try scorer.
Yeah, so Titans, so far this season have conceded 80% of their tries to backs, and the Roosters have scored 73% of their tries have scored through backs. So we saw Jamie Fressard score three last week. So they love going out the back. So I'll just keep it simple and go Jamie Fressard. I went Bridie Parker last week, so it's going to be, of course, Parker will score this week and not Fressard, but yeah, I'll lock in Fressard.
I'll go Isabel Kelly. I think last time I picked her, she scored one. So I'm going her as my little safety net here, and hopefully she could get one on the board for me. I think she's done a pretty good record the last few weeks over scoring a try. So Knights versus Broncos, the first of the Sunday games. This is at McDonald Jones Stadium, which I know now has been sold out. So it'll be a massive crowd there, which I'm sure most will get there early to watch. The Newcastle love the women's team as well. They've got a special place for them. So no doubt a lot of people get there to watch this game. And as you mentioned, because of the Titans' outs, there's an argument that this could be the game of the round as well. Really, two really good sides. Love to know your thoughts on this one, being a Broncos fan.
Yeah, I think the Knights obviously a huge win to get to knock off the Titans and give them their first loss. Give them a lot of confidence and belief in themselves. Broncos, yeah, I don't know if I'm being too harsh, but I did expect more. I mean, I know it was tough going down to 11, and yeah, they lifted when they were down to 11, so it's we still got the win, and it was really impressive. I felt like they kept going right and not going left to Melo Hufanga after we saw her score 4 tries the week before. Now, obviously, there's some sort of tactical game plan that goes into it, but it was just frustrating. Like, just give the ball to Melo, surely. I mean, she just going to score every time she touches it. So she was a little bit quiet. Um, but I don't know. I think just Newcastle at home, they're probably just going to edge it. They seem like they've just found the way they want to play as a team. Broncos have a few ins though, like Gal Broughton's back, Destiny Brill back, and Anil Sala back. I think Bree Clark and Fogavini are out. Don't know. Oh, Caitlin Johnston. Caitlin Johnston's back for the Knights. She's been a little bit quiet, I think, to start the season. I think she normally loves to try and is rampaging onto the ball to try and score one close to the line. We haven't seen that from her yet this season, so expecting a big one from her. But apart from that, I just think the Knights will be too good at home, just winning a close one.
Yeah, I know what your tactics here are. I believe you're just trying to sneak under the radar as a Bronco. Just want to just keep going along. I don't think you have as much to worry about as you're making it. I think you guys are going quite nicely. And I think Ali will step up when need be and make sure you guys are playing finals football this year. It is a massive test, though. There's no doubt about it. This is a Knights team that I think on the weekend sort of got pushed into gear in a way and to sort of told, let's start playing some finals type footy and get where we need to get towards for the bigger games towards the end of the year. And times are a good test. The Broncos again are another massive test for them. I believe they'll get the job done, like you have said, in a close affair. I believe it won't be much in this one. Player to watch, again, I've gone a battle I cannot go past. I can't go past the Jesse Southwell versus Ali Brigginshaw. Young buck against old bull, the experience versus youth battle. Class, both are class, just absolutely class in different ways as well. They're the same position, but they both have different ways they go about it. And you can see Jessie, no doubt, probably watched countless tapes on Ali as she was growing up and had her as sort of that idol type figure and based a lot of her game around what Ali has done and is doing. So I can't wait to watch these two just lead their team around to try and get the victory.
Yep, I'm just gonna go with Caitlin Johnson. I think, like I said, she's been quiet. I've just been expecting a big game from her. She's been solid, really good, but just I don't know, maybe I have too much of an expectation on her to really stamp her mark. So I think she'll come back and have a massive game for the Knights. Um, yeah, that's my player to watch.
Make it a trifecta and please say you're going Caitlin Johnston to score a try.
Well, I got a bit of a stat for you on this one. So 3 out of the 4 rounds so far this year, a prop has scored against the Broncos. And Knights have 3 out of the 4 games this season for the Knights, a prop has scored for them. Last year in this same matchup, Knights versus Broncos, 2 props scored for the Knights against the Broncos, and Taylor Predabon off the bench was one of them. I think she's scored 1 or 2 tries already this season as well. So I'm actually going to go Taylor Predabon to score for the Knights.
Oh, not Caitlin. Look out. If Caitlin scores this, I'm going to message you though so quickly. That'll be just how our season has gone so far with try scorers. That's probably what's going to end up happening. I'll go Jasmine Strange. I know we keep getting them wrong, the wingers. So this week, load up on the other side of the wing. But Jasmine Strange from one, I'll lock in for a try there. Raiders versus Eels is the final game, 1:45 at GIO Stadium in Canberra. So Canberra have had a couple of home games to start this. I think this is their third, I think now. So good little home patch for them. Thoughts on this one? Obviously Raiders third, Eels 10th. Should be a Raiders victory comfortably, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Raiders have just been one of the most consistent teams this season. Um, just I think they've got the least missed tackles. They're just so solid, so hard to get by. They obviously let the Dragons back into the game late. I think they also had a couple disallowed tries that they could have had a bit bigger of a lead against the Dragons, so it didn't have to be that close. But yeah, it's just like I've said every week. It's hard to back the Eels. They've obviously still got Kennedy out. They've got Elsie now re-injuring her calf, so it's just gone from bad to worse for the Eels. I mean, yeah, they showed it was their best game last week, but I don't think it's enough to beat this Raiders side.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Raiders easily for mine in that 13 plus sort of range. Player to watch, Samima Taufa for mine against her old club. If it's possible, we'll go to another level. I don't know if she has any more levels. I don't know if it's even possible, but if there is a way, she will find it against an old club, no doubt.
Yeah, I think so. I'll get to Taffa a bit later, but player to watch. Trying to find one. I went with Alana Dummett. I think I was really impressed with her in her debut last week, starting at centre. I think she's only 18 or 19 still. So filling in for Mackenzie Wiki, who is out for a few weeks. Yeah, she's really impressive. Some good touches. So just keen to see her again this week and what she can do.
Come on, hit me with your final big
Yeah.
stats here for
So
your predicted try
final
score.
one. So Eels have conceded 6 tries in 4 games to either a prop or a lock. And we've seen what Samima Taufa can do. She scored 2 tries already this year. She looks for it. She's not just a pass or tuck the ball under. She looks for the tries when she's there, and she's almost impossible to stop close to the line. So yeah, I think she crosses over against the Eels, against her former club as well.
You're doing Rando's work for him. You're
Yeah, it
on
sounds like it.
fire. You
Yeah.
are on fire. Literally, we'll just send this video off to him. We've done his work for him for this weekend. He'll be loving life. I will go Abby Nichols to score a try for my one at the back there. So fingers crossed we can do a bit better here. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. So I know we're getting watched closely and we're getting judged here. So let's
I know.
try and
Surely,
spark it up.
surely at least. I mean, the season's only 9 rounds. We're running out of time, but surely we can get a 5 from 5 from one of us at least.
Got to
Good.
do it.
Yeah,
So,
we'll try.
thank you guys for listening or watching. Bring on the weekend's games, and this has been uploaded before. So, just want to say a quick shout out to the Matildas as well. Good luck tonight on the game. Hope you absolutely kill it against those Poms. We love watching us against the Poms, in no matter what the sport is. We'll watch it and cheer hard. So, up the Matildas, and good luck to the girls on the weekend.